So the rapid advance process, the first thing it does, it's a 5-step process. One of the things it does is help you to identify what your own personal triggers are. This is the thing that puts you at risk for secondhand shock in your work. And so we can't go through all 5 steps with you today. We don't have time for that. These are the 5 steps of the rapid advance process. But we would like to turn you on to step 1 and 2. And we want you to start thinking about your history in your spare time. Maybe even write it down like it were a narrative, or think about it as if it were a movie. Step back and look at how you evolved as if you were watching it almost in a fishbowl. And in an honest self-inventory, take a look at things in your history that you take with you that may still trouble you today, or make you sad or disappointed today, or that scare you today when you think about it, or make you see yourself as less than or shameful in some way, even though as an adult you're looking to rise above it and move on to higher planes. We all have an internal child part of our personality, and if we're not aware of it, when it is triggered, it can certainly run amok. And if you can recognize the 1 or 2 triggers or impasses you carry from your earlier years, you will become very, very adept at noticing that you're having vicarious trauma, because you will realize when you are feeling upset about something, which puts you at risk for a chemical reaction that is intensified and can negatively impact your whole body. And so our wish for you is that you start to become very intimate with that aspect of your experience. And think about that. I'm wondering if there are any questions about this right now. Or if it doesn't make any sense to you, I would like for you to take a risk and share that right now, so Vicki and I can have an opportunity to speak to that. Gee, I've done a great job today. Vicki, you've done a great job today. Okay, so what we've understood today is that when we hear upsetting stuff, we go into a reaction called automatic empathy. In the course of your work, you cannot use automatic empathy. You have to use controlled empathy. That's going against the force of nature. If you add to listening to trauma content while you're utilizing controlled empathy, and you add to that your own historical triggers being pushed, you are going to be in a perfect storm for a secondhand shock reaction. We want you to take the initial steps while you're early on and have a sense of how you tick and what trips your triggers, so that you can be aware of when you're in a stress response. You can't go through here. But here's some of those symptoms that will be your red flag that, uh-oh, something's going on for me. If you start drinking or drugging and you're checking out, you're not quite present, notice you have a rash of illnesses, sinus infections you can't get rid of, viruses you can't get rid of, high blood pressure. Notice yourself being reactive, lashing out at people, just feeling generally depressed. Becoming absolutely perfect, that you have to be perfect and everyone else is less than. Can't go through those steps. Also very, very important in your work right now is the downtime, is giving yourself time to fire those neurons up and left to the higher thinking portion of our brain, knowing that you've got to create a balance. So let's put it out now to the audience. What are some spiritually based activities that people can get in, that you could get into, that will help drive your neurons out of your limbic system and up and left in your brain? We'll get a winner. You want to win. That lady back there, she can first move. Meditation.
Who said that? Raise your hand. Thank you. I'm coming.
Meditation is certainly one. But there are lots of things. What do you like to do?
Go to church.
Going to church, having a spiritual life. But it isn't necessary to go to church to be spiritual for everyone. That's one great way. Some people love a structured way to develop faith. What are other ways?
Watching baseball.
Sports. Sometimes people find sports to be a very spiritually based outlet. It is. What else? What else? Yes?
Running.
Running is a very balancing. Being outside in nature, okay? Having a hobby, joining a group that is entertaining and based on something positive in its orientation. So very, very important that you provide that for yourself in the course of your work. And as you move forward, pay attention to this list. Make sure you have adequate downtime. Always have enough breaks in the course of the day. If 5 hours have gone by and you haven't had a chance to head to the bathroom, you are working too many hours in succession. Know your own personal triggers. It's okay when you're struggling. It doesn't mean you're incompetent or not doing well. You're a human being that has a physiological way of moving through the world. It is not shameful to ask for help and need help. It is a well put together person who knows when they are struggling and asks for resources along the way. So, based on what you learned today, what's your hope for your profession as you go forward regarding this occupational hazard?
It's our hope that you take care of yourselves so that you can perform the service that is so precious that you offer to the people in this world who need your help. And if you don't take care of yourselves, then you can't do that. Remember the airline motto, when the masks fall down, first put one on yourself and then take care of the person next to you. If you don't take care of yourself, the practice of law will become a tremendous challenge for you. And we wish with all of our hearts that you take care of yourself, because someday we may need your services and we want a healthy lawyer to be taking care of us.
And as you move forward, make sure in whatever group you're working in, whatever firm you're in, however you're working, that there is a program that addresses this hazard where you meet together and take that downtime to debrief and share the stuff that's been upsetting to you in the course of your work week. Thank you very, very much. We wish you the best of luck.